Well, if it isn't Pige, hello, hello. I was just thinking about you actually, because I've been hearing more things about PoE 2, and I have not been following what the news has been there. So I don't know if there's something new, and if you care again, if you still think it's a bad game, etc. But I hope you're doing well. I have been working on improving challenge mode here. I don't know how much you saw about this, but it was supposed to be the way that you beat the main game, and then you go over to challenge mode, and there's a difficulty level you can set that's going to have more and more things happening. And it's a roguelike game, which I think I've shown you some of this stuff. But like, yeah, instead of picking direct town perks, you're picking one of several, and you're slowly building up your town that way. So what we're going to work on now is getting meta perks to work. Got a huge update. People who hate it are getting louder, and the people who like it are getting louder. It's a bunch of people yelling and yelling and yelling. It's fun to watch. Huh. I wonder if the people who like it are getting, well, presumably like it more. I wonder why the people who hate it still hate it. Showered a minute too long. If only you hadn't gotten yourself as clean as you did. Also, Paj, I'd be curious what you think about this. It'll probably be ready in a week or two, maybe, to test out. It won't be like done ready, but it'll be ready to test out. And yeah, I'd be curious what you think. But you'd probably have to replay the demo, and you might not want to do that. Anyway, we are going to add in this. So it says UI will eventually be here to let you choose meta perks. We're going to have some way of choosing them. I think what we're going to do, choosing meta perks, I think we should just open another dialogue. And at first, what we can do is just show you all of the different perks that you have. This should probably look kind of similar to what we have in the main game. Also, this is driving me nuts. We got to make it so that when you click the background here, it closes it. And we do this in other cases. I envy you wearing a sweater after lunch. I get freezing during lunchtime. This is like a year-round phenomenon. And sometimes I just sit in the sunbeam, or if it's like really hot, I'll go outside. Today I ate my lunch pretty quickly, and then I sat under an electric blanket for the rest of the time. And it was set to high, and I'm still cold. It's like I'm playing it for the first time. Yeah. And you find different things to hate every time you play it. Someday, maybe those things will go away. Maybe. Panel tab container. Control with overlay background. Okay, yeah, we should be able to do this. Control with overlay background. So that's what this thing inherits from. So this should probably just inherit from that too. Oh, it does inherit from that. It just doesn't do anything? That's peculiar. Method intentionally left empty. That's strange. So then we must not be clicking this, which means it must not be taking up the full area. Or it's being called and something else is going wrong here. So let's put a breakpoint here, and let's put a breakpoint here. This is new challenge run. Yeah. And then let's just click here. That is not getting hit. And yet it is when you click the close button normally. Very interesting. I don't think I get cold easily. Just for whatever reason around lunchtime I do. This is for the panel tab container. Oh, you know what it is? We're not calling the base. No, we are calling the base. Ready? Okay, never mind. I was going to say that would have been so easy. It is not that. This is the game settings menu. This is the new challenge thing. Okay, so that's all set up correctly then. And then the credits menu again, I guess. And then what happens? Clicking the background doesn't close this. Oh, maybe the panel in front is taking up the majority of the space. Yeah, that's what's going on here. There's a max size container here. And we have this set to probably consume clicks on the background. If I just ignore this and start this up again, I wonder if it would happen. Because I'm not sure what the best way to do this is, but I know we've done this before. Okay, it looks like it's working. So then I guess that's all we had to do. Max size container. This isn't even the problem I set out to solve originally. Hey, Chef Alton, thanks for the resub. Hope you're doing well. I saw you typing some notes into the shared document yesterday. But I did not read those notes yet. All right, so how's this set up? Panel, tab container, max size container. We have mouse set to ignore. Yeah, all right, that's it. We just had to set this to ignore. Saw you doing the same, haha. So we each caught each other. Fix bug with new challenge screen. The max size container wasn't ignoring mouse inputs, so you couldn't click the background to close it. All right, now there was an issue on this. Here it is. Fixes that. Cool. So if I push this, it doesn't get marked fixed, right? Because I haven't actually merged the branch. Yeah. I fixed this in a branch. Commit is, whoops, git log -1 right there. I should probably just close the issue. All right, so that fixes kind of an annoying problem that I had, but that's not the only thing I wanted to do here. Hey, player. You still enjoying the vacation? Okay, so I want there to be some way of you, I think we should just open another dialogue, and I think it should contain your reputation and perk points on it, and then a bunch of buttons. That should be it. Like I said, this is my main goal for this afternoon, is just get this UI working. Doesn't need to look perfect, just needs to be better than it started, which is non-existent. So we have player ability tree. What is this? What is this indeed? Player ability tree. Looks pretty reasonable. I am indeed. Just need to get my blisters not get infected and it's all perfect. Oh yeah, from all the walking and everything you mentioned. Also rip all my money. I feel like there are some things you can buy that you enjoy for a moment maybe, and then they don't feel like they were worth it. I feel like this vacation for you seems like it's been worth it. You were really looking forward to it. You're enjoying it now that you're on it. You'll probably look back fondly on it. You'll hopefully be recharged. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't feel like it was a waste of money, because it doesn't sound like it was. I think of the same sort of thing when it comes to, like, if I want to have a dessert, I feel like donuts suck because you finish them so quickly and they're super calorie dense. So if I have a dessert, like, I don't want to have a donut, right? It's like, yeah, if they were 0 calories, I'd eat them all the time. Otherwise, they're just not worth it. Vacations are always worth it. I think they're usually worth it. I think there are times when you're not in the right mindset and you can't enjoy it. Like this last week, I took some time off. I didn't go anywhere. It didn't cost me any money. I just took some time off. And I think it was worth it. Like I had the right mindset. I knew what I was going into. I wasn't going to be doing nothing, but I wasn't going to be doing the same amount of work I was doing normally. All right, so I got to make sure that this has functions that make sense for me. What in the world is this thing used for? I think this is just never used. Yeah, it's pretty much never used. All right, ability ID to button. This is skill button base. That's all fine. This is probably fine. That's probably okay. Yeah, I think we inherit from this. This doesn't have any concept of subtracting money, right? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I think we inherit from player ability tree. Which perks tree already inherits from that. Definitely much more of a travel fan than the average person, so it's very easy for it to be worth it for me. Yeah, and I think there are ways you can do travel cheaply, especially if you already live in Europe. Because there are more hostels. You can go to different countries by just like driving for a couple hours if you needed to. There aren't many parts of the US where you can do that. Just the north and the south. Like very far north and very far south, I mean. Perks tree. So nothing else inherits from player ability tree? Is it Bidamimuru? Well, even, I mean, you could like backpack probably or take train somewhere. Do many things inherit from this? Enchanter perks, farming, fishing, recycling, town perks. Okay, so what is a perks tree? Because it doesn't look like there's much code here. It's a list of skill buttons, a container for them, ability data. What? What is this? Huh. I see. Well, that's not smart. I think I wanted cost data to be in each ability, and it's not. And I don't know why I never changed this. Well, what about the rest of this stuff? Init. Let's look at town perks tree. Okay, pretty straightforward. That's fine. Has unlocked is hopefully inside this. No, it's in the base class. But it just returns true. It shouldn't be here. All right, so yeah, well, I'm thinking we probably want to extend player ability tree and move some functions around. Like has unlocked tree would be in perks tree instead. And we're going to make a meta perks tree. It's not even a tree. Again, I don't know why it was called a tree originally. Maybe because I had the idea that it was going to be in a tree structure. So yeah, we pop something like this up. It's got a title. We set the title. We add some buttons. And we make it pull from the same locations. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have an idea for how this is going to work. And who knows if it's going to pan out that way. But we are going to try. Does this have a theme here? Basic fonts. That doesn't sound right. Town perks. We don't have that either. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. Battle panel. Where are all the perks? I can't find them. Oh, here they are. And what is this? A player ability tree? It is. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so we'll probably want tabbing for this eventually. I don't think I should worry about that yet. So let's go make this in the new challenge run thing. Hey, Bogdy. What are you looking for with config? Because I'm happy to share whatever it is you're looking for. Some people are asking for like, what are your VS Code keyboard shortcuts? Some people are looking for like, what's my computer setup? This I don't have a command for. The computer setup is just specs, VS Code setup. Yeah, so I've got a VS Code command that tells you about some of the extensions I use. But as far as keyboard shortcuts, I think maybe people are wondering like, which shortcuts do I use? I guess I also have this set of videos. Those two things probably cover a lot of what you want to know, but it's a pretty big investment to watch all that. So there's a specific question you have I could share. As for the shortcuts themselves, I don't think they're super useful. Like I've customized some things, but it's mostly like which ones do I use? And it's a lot of like navigation stuff, multiple cursor stuff, and then basic editing shortcuts, like duplicating lines and moving them around. So yeah, lots of like go to a specific file, go to a specific function in that file. Thinking to try something new? Yeah. Feel free to ask any questions you have about it. I'm happy to share things. Like I said, the reason I don't make this stuff public about my keyboard shortcuts is because they're just not that useful. Like I have a very special keyboard, first of all, but then also I've customized things even for like a regular QWERTY keyboard that might not make sense for some people. So, yeah, don't hesitate to ask me stuff. All right, so we're gonna make a new one of these things. And this is saved in scene script. I guess we could just make a player ability tree. Yeah, I guess we could. So I instantiate that, but then I give it a different script. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this sounds pretty reasonable. How's it going with the game? Didn't watch in a while because I've been pretty busy with work. Is it released yet? It's not released yet. It'll probably be released early next year, I'm hoping. It's going pretty well though. The basics of what I've been working on lately are in this document, and this is pretty short. It covers the context of what happened, what the plan is to fix it, and then if people want to try it out, what they can do to try it out. But that's it. That's the whole document. And in short, it's make challenge mode more approachable for people. I think the main problem was we have the main game is like super casual, very laid back. Just do things at your own pace, walk away from your computer if you want to. And then it was like challenge mode, super difficult, like be focused, click a million times. And there's probably a way you could make this work, but I think it's pretty unlikely. Like imagine you're playing whatever Animal Crossing or something, like just a super laid back game, and then all of a sudden it turns into a first person shooter. Be like, I'm not expecting that. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's fun, but it's probably fun for a very small subset of people, because how many people want like casual game combined with competitive FPS or something? Probably not many. So I think we just need to tone it down a bit and make it not be super difficult, ease you into it, give you meta progression. So that's the kind of stuff we're working on now. So here we just hide these things and then show them, and they're just parts of a container, and we give them a different script. So let's put this somewhere. I'm not actually totally sure how this is going to work. If I put this here, where's this showing? It says a child of this. I don't want that. I want it to show in a different part of the screen entirely. It should probably be in the max size container. I mean, let's put it there for now. Now, how does that look? Maybe that's fine. Who has any idea? What do we call this? Meta perks tree. So there's that. Now let's go get perks tree and save this as meta perks tree. So this is going to be meta perks tree. This does not buy things with the same kind of money. But getting a cost and modifying the level, updating the cost here, this stuff could work. It's not going to have access to a town though. Oh, please tell me player ability tree does. Now that it does. Oh no, why? Why do you have this for player abilities? And reapply effects. Oh man. Okay. This is gonna be a little harder than I thought. Fall back in some botland VODs. Going back to those, it's always cool to see the extreme consistency of your general design and troubleshooting process, along with the different efficiency enhancements. Yeah. I guess I haven't changed much as a person. What VOD number are you on? And is there anything surprising as you watch those? Problem is that player ability tree needs a town. We won't have a town since you're not in the game yet. All right, well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so what do I even want for this stuff? We had a list of purchase skill buttons. Here we have ability ID to button. Why do we even do this? Can afford any skill. Sure. Go through every button that we have. Again, I don't totally understand this. We already kept track of every button here. Skill button base. Why didn't we just iterate over those? I don't see a point in having this. I don't know why this is here. Ability ID to button. We never access that in this class, do we? Oh my god, we do. Okay. Set button ability. Yeah, all right. This seems pointless. Move some functions around. And then the other thing is that we keep track of skill buttons in here for pretty much no reason. Oh, because they're purchase skill buttons. So we would need to cast if we didn't do this. This inherits from skill button base. Yes, it does. What about this? Purchase skill button, can add skill point, takes an ability ID. Does skill button base not have that? Skill button base. It does have an ability ID, although it happens to be private. Okay. Well, this is going to be difficult. Could consult. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Why is that not working? Oh, you have to actually press the key? Wow. Watched a lot of the 400, 700 ones that I wasn't there for. Not surprising. Most memorable is always the dedication, professional work, and process. Man. It's crazy there are that many hours of video out there. It's also crazy that it's on a totally different channel now, so I guess whatever ad revenue doesn't even count for anything. Yeah, it's on the Extonomous channel that I have pretty much abandoned. Wow. Man, I made a lot of those recaps too. Nuts. Nuts. All right. Meta perks tree inherits from this. We have perk ability data, which is a prerequisite and a collection of costs for levels. So I guess we kind of need the same thing here. It almost makes me wonder if we should refactor perks tree altogether. What is this doing? Add skill button, can afford, can add skill point. We could just override this, right? Why would I not do this? Oh boy. Okay, I guess we call this a perks tree then. And delete this. This is going to be such a mess. Such a mess. Yeah, there won't be a town here. Virtual void in it. Well, as a perks tree, it's going to know that it's a meta perks tree. So we delete that, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, this is really daunting. There are a lot of assumptions we're going to be breaking here. And there's no like clean way to do this. And I can't fully envision what we want just yet. Yeah. Town tooltip title. Okay. Well, let's do what we can, I suppose. So this calls into the base, which we're going to have to cut. Oh, man. We don't need a title here. We don't need the ability data either. So this is going to have to be null. Tooltip, and then title is like meta perks. We got to come up with a better name for these. What did I say they were going to be? Didn't I have some like, what was I going to call these? Terminology. Meta perks. Possibly a better naming route is bone point. Meta perks are just called perks. All right, fine. Can't convert nullable type. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. This is all going to be a problem. And ability data used to be passed in here. And in this particular case, we're going to just make our own ability data thing. All right, let's just copy paste this over here for now, I suppose. So the ability is the only meta perk we have. And sure, let's do that. And then just delete everything else. All of this is going to have to change. Oh boy, it's all going to have to change. All right, there's meta perks tree. Let's go set the right script. Meta perks tree. And then we have to extract town out of this stuff. We also need a way of this showing. So this UI will eventually let you choose here. This should probably be a button that says like choose meta perks. Button. I don't know what we say. Just choose meta perks. Sure, whatever. Make this button look better. There. All right, meta perks button. Let's go add this in. Meta perks button. And when you press that, it's going to show meta perks. Private void show meta perks. And then that comes from over here, meta perks tree. And that is a meta perks tree. Cool. Private meta perks tree. So get that thing too. And then show it down here. Okay, I think this is gonna break. All we're trying to do is get it to show a dialogue, and I don't even think it's gonna compile because I have a null town when you. Okay, apparently that's fine. That's fine. Get rid of that. Okay, it kind of worked. It's showing, but it's showing in some like weird spot on the screen. I'm not sure I understand what's going on. I guess there's nothing in here, so it's just showing the title. How did it work over here? We had a tab container. And the tab container itself had a theme on it, which is paper stack. So shouldn't we put this inside of its own theme, the paper stack theme? That does not work. Why doesn't that work? If we edit this, it's because we're supposed to have a tab container and we don't have one. So we would need to make, I guess we could just, I think the simplest thing I could do is make a tab container and then just not use it. Well, that's kind of stupid. But yeah, let's do it for now, I guess. Tab container, put this in here. Whoa, whoa, slow your roll there. And then make this thing take up the full size of the screen. That kind of works. And maybe we actually want a tabbed container at some point. Probably not one that's this large. In fact, maybe we want this inside the max size container. And then when we hide this, it'll show this part. Otherwise, it'll show this. Yeah, I could see you wanting to pick between all the different kinds of perks there are. We probably need a close button for this. Control for anchoring, and there's a close button, yeah. Okay, fine. Meta perks tab container. This is so bad. This is gonna take a lot of effort. Meta perks tab container equals null. Go fetch that. That's a control. And then show this thing instead of the other thing that we do. And then always make it so that that's visible. Yeah, like that. Okay. We haven't even gotten to the difficult part here. The difficult part is going to be getting all of these buttons to work without having access to a town and not breaking anything and having the right abstractions here for this stuff. Yeah, this won't even load now. What happened? I don't know what happened here. I can't even see where the beginning of this is. Looks like it's just some infinite loop. Okay, well. New challenge run. Screen.show. This will put us right into the dialogue that I want to be on, but I think it's going to break immediately, so I probably need to stop this as soon as it loads. New child panel container of max size container will be ignored. This node only handles a single child. Oh, drat. Really? Oh, that's too bad. All right. Well, that explains that at least. How is Skeleseller still running here? I force quit it and it's still running. I know it's hidden by that. Okay, there it goes. Okay, cool. Well, we have no way of hiding this now. What I want to have happen is if this thing is showing, then we just hide this. So close here is if this dot visible, then hide that and then return. Or just put an else here. Okay, cool. So now we have a way of getting through these things. This says meta perks tree. I'm probably going to ignore that for now. Nothing is initializing this. Meta perks tree dot init with the tooltip, I guess. So now it'll have the correct title. And then everything beyond that will just get broken. It might even fail immediately. No, it says perks. This failed because we can't add a skill button. Because it tries using a town that doesn't exist. I mean, almost certainly. I don't know for sure, but... Huh. Strange. It says the button doesn't exist. That's peculiar. Meta perks tree, line 34. Add skill button in the ability data. Meta perk grant increased appetite. Huh. I don't understand what is wrong there. All right, let's put a breakpoint there. So we only have the one thing that we're trying to add here. What's going wrong exactly? Perk ability data, try to instantiate the thing. Does it exist? It does. What's the problem here? Button.name, what is this set to? Yeah, that's fine. Then call this on skill button container. Why is that a problem? Skill button container was never made? Get node skill buttons. Excuse me? It's right there. Really? Really? Godot just quit. Okay. Huh. Why is that happening? Maybe ready is never called on this? I don't know how that would be possible, though. Oh, unless we skipped over base ready. Oh, okay. My bad. Whoops. Yes, we did. Base dot ready. Okay. Man. All right. So what I think, like I said, the difficult thing is going to be getting the town to not be needed for this stuff. And I want to make sure that we're doing this in a good way. And I think it's going to be tough. All right. So there we go. So now you can't hover over these things. Ready to start the weekend. Nice. Congratulations. This has the wrong icon. Oh, everything broke again. Is this just the wrong icon because we're trying to access the town? I bet it is. Yep, it is. Okay. Yeah, so that's what's going to violate everything. we need a provider for an abilities component, and the town is one such provider, and the title screen is one such provider. Is that the only place where we do this stuff, though? Well, for that stuff it is. Then there's also play sound. So yeah, we're going to need sounds at some point. But ignoring the sound bit, it's only ever accessing player abilities. Interesting. So we need a way to play sounds and a way to access abilities. Just need a provider of an abilities component. And we need a way to play a sound. The sound thing, I'm probably going to just ignore at first. But that was only half of the equation. The other half of the equation's over here. And what do we use the town for in here? Money changed, money. Modify money. Yeah. Also access money related variables and functions. Since this is usually for buying perks with gold. And the buttons themselves need to change. Well, I can think of an easy way to work around the abilities component thing. We could pass into the constructor a function called getAbilitiesComponent, and we just pass in something that does this. And then everything works. But that only fixes the one problem. We then have to figure out how to fix money stuff. Hey, I'll go dev. It's going well. We're on a particularly difficult task here. And it might take even more than the afternoon, but I'd like it to just take this afternoon if possible. And it's kind of a question of like, how hacky do I want to get with the code? Because if we go with very hacky, then I could probably be done sooner than I should be done. But yeah, let me look through this. So can add skill point, checks to see if you have enough money. Where else do we check money? Modify ability level needs to subtract money. And then get cost of ability. No, I don't need that actually. Cost is in the cost array. And there are no units on that either. And then this is for the sake of modifying. Okay, I see. We don't need to do this for the meta perks tree. You can't ever get more perk points as you're on the UI because there's no game playing. All right, well, we have 3 problems. Let's solve the first one. When you initialize one of these, instead of taking in a town, we should take in a function that, or not even a function that returns it, like an action that returns an abilities component. Get abilities component function. Is this gonna work? This probably needs to be accessible. I don't know yet. Should know what I want to fill in for this, yeah. So we delete this. We don't have a town here anymore. This isn't needed. Or maybe it's going to be in perks tree, I guess. Ugh. We're going to need it somewhere. And then meta perks tree can't inherit from perks tree, or else there needs to be like a perks tree base and a gold perks tree and a meta perks tree. Oh, man. I feel like we should come up with a composition forward way of doing this. All right, so all we do here is this stop player abilities. Delegate does not take 0 arguments. Did I mess this up? This is supposed to be a function? That's how much I know. Is that what I meant to do? I think so. Okie dokie. All right, so now we go change everything over here. And we make some like, I don't even know what here. Protected abilities component is just going to be get abilities component function. Okay, now everywhere that we see town.player abilities, we just replace it with that. This is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Oh no, there's one reference to the town still. Oh, drat. There's just no winning, is there? It's going to be called many times, so the function should be idempotent. The reason for this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man. Okay, let's ignore that one for now. The next one is play sound. We need some way of knowing when a sound should be played. And we could just emit an event that says play skill up sound. I think that's the only sound that this is supposed to play. But I think we need to put a little bit more thought into that. The whole sound system is probably going to need its own set of changes. We need to figure out how the sound system is going to work on the title screen. There are no sounds for any buttons there. So let's just comment that out for now to figure out how to add this back in. All right, so now we only have one issue in this file, and it's this. And we could bump this down to a derived class. We get the ability so that we can call reapply ability effects. This is the bottom of modify ability level. Perks tree, modify ability level. Oh God, this is overridden from the base. Why did we do that? This code never mattered? This was never used? Excuse me. I have the hiccups as I'm snorting in derision. No, wait, no, we call it right there. Oh, whew, okay. So we just do this. Okay, sure. So I fixed all of the issues over here, apparently. Except for the sound thing. We papered over that. So now meta perks tree is going to have a problem. Maybe, I don't know. But I think we need to extract out a town from here. Oh, man. Because right now we're inheriting from this. Money changed. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a base perks tree. And that's what this is going to be. This inheritance hierarchy makes no sense. Then we're going to open up meta perks tree. Or no, regular perks tree. And this is going to inherit from the base one. This doesn't exist here anymore. So this is a perks tree that costs some kind of currency to unlock abilities, but not necessarily gold. And then this is a perks tree. This is a perks tree that costs gold to unlock abilities. And then this is one that costs like meta points. Meta perk points. I don't know, whatever. All right, so now the base one should not have the town in it at all. So we delete it from here, and we delete every single place that would have shown up. So there's an init here that is presumably not needed. Okay. Then there's this. We want to set what do we want to do? We want to add a bunch of skill buttons. Yes, apparently we do. Well, that's a crying shame. Because then we would need to take in all of these arguments in addition to the fourth one here. Okay. I actually think that's looking pretty decent. That should be decent. That's maybe okay. I have no idea. This function, using purchased skill button. I guess purchase skill button is okay, except for that the costs I think show in terms of gold. This is just a long. Where does the gold thing show up? And money changes it in here. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. We need a different money source. Also, currently player ability tree and perks tree are kind of identical. Let's not worry about that yet. Okay, so this is using purchase skill buttons. We got to ignore that too at some point. So I don't know, keep that there for now. Set button ability, and this keeps track of when this thing changed so that we can modify the button itself. So we just delete this from here for now. And then perks tree will call into the parent for that. Set button ability. Yeah, there. Messed up. All right, so this is player abilities. It's actually just abilities component. And then this thing would have to be changed to the point where, does this make any sense at all? Maybe it does. There's get cost of ability though. Here we check money. Maybe there should be like a get currency. This is like a purchased perks tree. And just like we have a way of getting the abilities component, we have a way of getting how much money there is and maybe modifying how much money there is. Yeah, it should probably just be a protected function though, right? Yeah, protected virtual. It's really just a number. That's all I care about. But we can make it a long. And we can say something like get currency. And then throw new non-implemented exception. All right, so this is just going to be get currency. Great. Now this is going to be modify currency. Protected virtual modify currency. Long delta. And I guess same thing, throw an exception there. Then we call modify currency negative cost, delete that. This is going to be impossible to do, so ignore that for now. And then this is going to turn into abilities component. All right, so this is the only real problem we have. And what was this supposed to do? Reapply the effects. So I guess what if we just delete this from here? Okay, so no errors in this file. Now we have to dissect this entire file and delete practically everything, right? Skill button container. We don't need this. Why are there two init functions? I don't know. This init just takes in the town and the tooltip, and then we call into this version, which is here, which calls into the base. So then why is this here? To know that it's going to be overridden. Okay. Can afford any skill. Yeah, this can be in the base class. That's fine. Load from save data, same thing. Add skill button. Anything special happening there? No. Set button ability. That is needed. Can add skill point. These things need to be overridden too. Okay, so this is just return town.money. And this is town.modify money. Easy. All right, let's do the same thing over here, I guess, in meta perks tree. the currency that you have, let's just always return 10 and definitely write it to. Actually, let's return like 1337 to do fill this in with the right value. And then modify, let's just have it throw an exception. Actually, let's have, yeah, sure. Haven't implemented modify currency yet. Okay, next up is can add skill point. So there's no reason for this to exist. Modify ability level is next. And that needs to call reapply effect. So first we get into the base class of this, base.modify ability level. Okay, next up is get cost of ability. That is presumably okay. And then update skill button cost. All right. So now delete all this. And this. Now we don't have a town, but it shouldn't be expecting a town anymore. How do we initialize this? We got to take in the abilities component, the meta abilities. Meta perks. And we just return that. Now it should technically be a function that gets us those perks. Yeah. Okie doke. Then over in new challenge run, we initialize this with a function that's going to return the meta perks. Where do we get those from? Oh, come on. Where do we get those from? Quiet this afternoon? Yeah. I'm unfortunately on something very difficult and there's not anything visual happening. And people have just been quieter and quieter every day. It's kind of sad. I looked at my morning stream and I streamed for whatever it was, 3 hours, and it says new followers 0. I don't push for this at all. And at some point I wonder, am I hurting the stream viability by doing this? Like my only real metric for success is Skeleseller doing well. So I need to develop the game and I need to get playtesters. And if I had 0 viewers, it'd be hard to get playtesters. But if I had 1,000 viewers, it'd be hard to make progress. What kind of perks we get at Meta? Actually, they have pretty good perks there. I hate getting Turkstorm. Once Twitch got rid of viewbots, yeah, those poor souls. Hey, Tweeter Gaming, thanks for the sub. Software and game dev is a tough category. Yeah, well, and also I think growth on Twitch is not super viable at this point. Like Twitch has been around for years and years and years. There are many other streaming platforms that compete with it now. So I don't know how many people are just browsing this category and how many people are browsing any arbitrary category looking for new people. And remember that there's some equilibrium point where your stream stays at a steady viewership and it's not getting plus 0 followers per day. The equilibrium point is probably getting like maybe at plus 6 followers per day. This stream would keep the same viewership over time. Because it's like birth rates and death rates. If no new people were born, your population would slowly die out. So it's like at some point, everyone who's currently watching will no longer watch the stream. Hopefully it's not because you die, but it certainly will happen when you die. Which is why I'm going to sell coffins that have my stream playing on the inside of them. View cadavers. Mandatory chat message. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Shot. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm looking forward to getting this new version tested and seeing if it's working well, if people like it. Hey, Campbell Soup. Skeleton themed coffins. There's a cartoon skeleton on the lid. Won't that lighten up funerals? Bury your adventures? Ooh. I've been joking about death for the last like minute, but even that's a bit much. Hey, Phil. All right, meta perks. I still don't know where they come from. Title screen, maybe? Oh, challenge mode configuration. Okay, so they're technically like statically accessed right now. All right, I don't like it, but we're still going to do it. Title screen, challenge mode configuration, meta perks. All right, so if we try running this now, I wonder what happens. I'm guessing something broke. Yeah. Set button ability in perks tree. How is that failing? Money change? What are you doing here? No, wait, that's fine. Is something inheriting from perks tree? Oh, it is. Okay, well, my bad. That was a simple mistake. Oh my goodness. Somehow we can click that. Didn't it throw an exception when I did that? Yeah, haven't implemented modified currency. Does it work? Oh man, I'll be pretty impressed. Let's see. Where do we have debug grant meta perks? Debug grant debug add meta perks? What'd I call it? I don't know what I even called it. But it had debug in the name, so it was either there or there. It's in neither of those places. Where did I put this? It was wherever we had specializations, which was this file. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was here, which is very dumb. But that's because we didn't have UI until just now. All right, yeah, so we get rid of this. And we get rid of this. And it should work. So how do we test this? We change it so that that meta perk that we have grants you level 5. So I was like, not my problem. I'm going home. That guy's just unconscious. He looks like he can handle it. It doesn't go up to level 5? That's not good. Oh god, that's not good. Oh no. I know what's going on. Oh no. This is so difficult. All right, the problem is that as soon as you click challenge run, we need to set that you are in challenge mode. Yeah, it's not just show this thing. It's like set the configuration to know that you're in this. Yeah. Oh man. All right. All right. This is going to be tough. Tough. So let's make a thing here called like show new challenge run screen. And call that here, show new challenge run screen. To do delete this. It's just for easy testing. Okay. Private. Well, audio player. What? Huh. I guess it's for music. Anyway, what did I just call that thing? Show something something? That. Yeah. All right, so that's there. And then we also need to set that challenge mode or like selected gameplay mode. This one. Gameplay mode selected. Needs to be challenge mode. Which is going to break loading the game. I cannot forget that. I have now broken loading. Do not forget. But clicking this should work. Oh, good. Okay. So, got to fix loading now. So, as soon as you close this thing, we should set you back to regular mode. How do you close that? How do you close that? And where do we set it to regular mode to begin with? Gameplay mode dot what, regular? Title screen. New game button does it. Does the load game button do it? This doesn't look good. What's this? This is loading? Okay, so we didn't break loading. Yeah. Ooh, okay, now let's test that out. Can't believe this. right, so if I just start a new challenge run and I get the garbage slime. Oh, everything broke. Why? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. That's in... Oh, because now our perk trees are broken? Oh, well, that's fun. Where's that coming from? Town perks. Base perks. Set button ability perks tree. 37. Because we're not initializing with the town anymore? Because I never set it. Oh, well, that's easy. Town equals town. This is going a lot better than I thought. Like, a lot better than I thought. It's been 1 hour, and I think we've already gotten this kind of working. So if I don't click this, actually, if I just click start new run, so I've not gotten the perk. And now we go get the garbage slime. Its hunger should be restoring at a normal pace, which means it should not be flying upward. So remember this as the rate. And now we go over to here and we pick this perk, and now it should be 400% faster, which should be very obviously fast. I can't tell if that worked, but I don't think it did. It'll be more obvious when it's at no hunger, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's working. Oh, maybe it's not because I haven't implemented this. Haven't implemented this. Okay, so let's just turn that off. So if we don't produce an exception, then maybe it'll work. It depends on when that exception happened in terms of giving you the ability. So now we have the ability. It wouldn't have produced an exception. Yeah. And now we build the garbage slime. We got to actually be offered the garbage slime. Of course, it doesn't give it to me. There it is. Is it faster? I don't think it's faster. Oh, wait, we don't need to check this. What am I doing? We can just check here. It's not there. It didn't give us the perk then? What gives? Huh. What gives indeed? Let's put a breakpoint there. Now I click this. It breaks in. Our meta perk should contain that one perk. It doesn't. That's not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Meta perk tree. We don't have any special thing here anyway. I guess we just set a breakpoint on this. Hello? Breakpoints? Because I modified a comment. The other thing I wonder about is... I guess it's not messing anything up if you do this. I got to figure out how this is going to save, though. All right, so we click the button. Now what happens here? Update skill button. We never apply this. No, but it's got based on modified level. Isn't that what should do this? Modify ability level. Huh. Should work. Do we have access to the title screen? Title screen dot challenge mode configuration dot meta perks. Wait, what is right there? And its level is 5, right? Or its level is 1, I guess. And its perk level is 5. Yeah. Wait a second. This is correct. So then what's going wrong here? This is getting these meta perks, and it was showing as nothing. I don't delete it, do I? No. Does it get overridden somewhere else? No. Strange. Let's try that again. Because I don't know what's going wrong here. I get this perk. I close that. I click start new run. And now the perks that it has It's nothing. So the problem has already happened at this point. Meta perks either never got set, which doesn't seem right because I just validated that it did get set, or it's getting cleared out at some point. Oh, it's right there. Oh my God, seriously? Wait a second. Is this the problem? Maybe we make a new one of these things? It certainly looks like this is the problem. No, wait, no. What looks like it's a problem. No. Hold on. I'm making stuff up. We don't define meta perks in 2 locations, do we? No, we always define it here. So making a new one of these is okay, I guess. Okay, let's keep looking then. Unless we change the challenge mode configuration somewhere. That's possible. Let's see how many of these we construct. Is it 2? Any chances applied to a different instance? It's entirely possible, yeah. So we make one of these here. And then I pick this, and then I go to start new challenge run, and it makes another one. Okay, why? Oh, well, that's stupid. When you select a difficulty level, we should just modify it in challenge mode configuration. Shouldn't make a new one of these. I'd like to leave a compliment for your stream. I don't understand the programming language. I work with cybersecurity, but your live stream is kind of therapeutic. And because you're Brazilian, it helps me improve my English. What? The last part. I'm not Brazilian. I mean, I'm glad to hear that you like the stream, but I've never heard that. Oh, because okay. I was like, this is news to me. Hey, mysterious. I actually have heard that someone was learning Portuguese using my stream, and I was like, how are you doing that? And they said they're using some sort of auto translate. And I thought, okay, but I guess then you could learn Portuguese using literally any piece of media, right? I think that person ended up disappearing after a week or 2, which is unfortunate. Hey, dig it. But anyway, shot. I'm glad. I'm happy to hear it. From one Brazilian to another. Obrigado. What was I doing before I found out my nationality changed? Not constructing a new one of these things. That's right. Select the difficulty level here is inside the UI, and it should be stored directly inside the challenge mode thing. Okay. I guess what we could do is we could just change the current configuration. Difficulty level. I mean, we could just set it like this. And then just make this a public setter as well. We're already modifying the meta perks, right? Yeah, I guess it only makes sense. All right. I'll be better. No, you don't have to worry about it. Also, it's an easy mistake to make. Even native English speakers, they're sometimes just talking and use the wrong pronoun or don't match the count of subject to object or verb or something like that. I'm also on autopilot right now. Okay, so wait, we finally, I think, got this working. Please. Yes, it's maxed out. So now we should see a visible difference here. Ah, now it's shooting upward. Yeah. And if we go back to the title screen, it is still picked because this is stored in the title screen itself, which does not go away. But if I start a new game and I just click Start Challenge Run, you now do not have that perk. I think it was impossible for this to be empty before this, because I think we always started you with something. And now I think it's just unlikely this will ever be empty, because it's only for probably your very first run that it'll be empty. Anyway, I don't think it's worth worrying about. But for twists, since it's not clear what a twist is, this has special text. Wait a second, is that dynamically updated? If I buy a town perk, does that change to 3? No. After buying, yeah, I don't think it should even tell you how many it should be. After buying, I'll just say enough. Enough town perks. After buying enough town perks, you will be offered a twist. Just delete that. I'm still laughing. Okay, so we've done everything except for playing a sound. And some of these things should be moved around. And we need a respec button and everything. And we probably want to show some special UI in here. Oh, man. All right, I hadn't thought about all that stuff. Maybe that would be in the tab container, though. Yeah, is that possible? It's probably possible. All right, let's clean up what we've done so far. We need the way to play a sound. I'm not going to worry about this outside of what was already working so far. Oh yeah, and then this stuff needs to work. We need to give you perk points. Okay, let's write that down too. Let's fix this for now. Where's perk points? Show many perk points. Okay, so implement perk points. Implementing perk points means changing meta perks tree to implement a couple of functions. But this is what we're going to try to fix right now. And this is on try to add skill point. And this is only assuming that it actually modified the skill. What calls this? Why is this here? Oh God, why is this here? And do we ever delete these things? No, we don't. I mean, we could just make this protected. But then we need to know when we've returned early or not. We could also just make a function called play sound. Play skill up sound. Or play sound. I don't know. Either one's fine. Play sound, sound ID dot skill up. Okay, there's our solution. Now, just like before, we make a protected virtual void play sound, sound ID, and throw new non-implemented exception. Come on, don't make me type things out here. AI. The dumbest, whatever, I don't care. All right, so now perks tree is going to override play sound. Protected override play sound. Cool. Anything not needed here? No, that's pretty good. Okay, so what have we done? Need a provider of that. Need a way to play sound. Need a way to access money stuff. Meta perks tree is done. This is all fixed. That's fixed. Move some functions around. We'll do that afterward. I'm already happy. This is great. Yeah, this is great. I mean, we don't have sounds on the title screen except the music, right? But no button makes any sounds on the title screen. And I just never cared because it used to be that people would only click new game and then they'd be done. But now there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens from challenge mode. Well, not a whole bunch of stuff, right? It's another few buttons. It's just that it's nice when you click this and you hear a bling. All right, stop that. Can we add multiple levels there? We probably could. Oh, man. All right, so let's make this button look better. Choose meta perks. Should this be flashing when you have enough? currency. Um, hmm. I want to give it the highlight button shader, I think, but it's not always going to be usable. Unplayable. What a terrible game. How do we do this? Shader material and then put it on? Highlight button. Is that glowing now? Yeah, it's glowing. Okay, now let's not have it be gigantic. It's kind of stupid. But now how do we make this stand out a little bit more? I have just the solution. There. You'll never not click the button. Yeah, I don't know where to put this. Yeah, I don't know where to put this. Also, how do you make it? How do you make the whole thing go on to the left? Oh, because I have it set to shrink center. I want it like there. Works. Well, it's better than nothing. That is for sure. If there were no button, you couldn't access your perks. But it's not great. Play sound not implemented in base class. What? What? Protected, override, play sound. We got to figure this out at some point. Need to figure out how the sound system is going to work with the title screen. Yeah. And then once we do that, override this. Play sound. Dot play sound. Hey, Mixed Source, I love the style of your game. Did you do all the artwork? I did none of the artwork. I am very, very bad at anything visual. This might have been evidenced by me trying to put a button on the screen. But I did all the music, and I did almost all of the game design and quite a lot of the coding. But yeah, do check out the credits document there, which has all the people who have worked on the game. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape for this commit. This cleanup stuff we're going to do after this. I'm going to make sure we get to it first. Oh, I guess I should test out loading a saved game. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, Goose. All right, so we click new game here. What do we start with? The mage. Let's hire, no, let's do something that's not apparent. Let's do this. Okay, so we have 4 displays. We hit save, we hit load. It works. What happens when I quit the game and try loading from the title screen? It should work. Good. And then what happens if I click start new challenge run and then load from in here? Yeah, nice. All that worked. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's check it in. Yeehaw. Wow. This should be set back to 1. That was just me testing stuff. I'm very impressed that any of this is actually functioning. Main doesn't, it's not supposed to be checked in. So checking everything around that, but not main. Yeah, meta perks tree. We can't fill in these things yet. I'll hold off on that. Actually, we probably should just put that back to how it was. Hey, Sofa Meyer. Starting on the save system for my game. Gonna have nightmares of setting it up. You could potentially use something from an asset store or an asset like repository. If easy, could show a dynamic label, perks 1 point available, which would make it longer and stand out more. Yeah. Yeah, I'll write that down for something we should do eventually. Should probably only be highlighted when you can actually afford something. How'd you do save game functionality? Are you saving state locally in a file? Yeah, just a JSON file. And we have a lot of save and load functions. So for example, if we go to here, we have a load from save data, which just restores some values. And then we have a save data thing, which gives us those values. And then that's it. It just gets stored to a file. All right, where did I leave off with this? Wait, what? Did I mess up? I messed up. Whoops. Okay. Moving on. Meta perks tree looks good. Perks tree itself. A lot of code got moved. Player ability tree. Man, it's pretty nice that this even worked. Oh, I should probably try that really fast. Let's turn on the sound. You should hear... I need the farm for this. That wasn't the farm. What am I doing? What am I doing? What? What indeed? I don't know what happened there. All right, let's ignore that. Oh, I maxed out everybody. Oh my god. Try that again. Wait, it makes a sound on skill down? What? What's making that swoosh sound? Is this skill button doing that? What? Is there a skill down sound somewhere? Yeah, here. It's in the adventure panel tab itself. Okay, whatever. I don't care. If it works, it works. And it doesn't sound like it's going to cause any issues. So over here, we now have a way of getting the abilities component. Sounds fine. Looks good. Yep. Okay. All this is pretty reasonable. This shouldn't be here eventually, but we're going to be testing out more and more with this. I guess I'll just cut it out for now. Yeah, but where was that title screen? Let's put it back in title screen. That looks good. This is fine. Yeah. Okay. This is separate. Twist history. All right, so check all these things in. What do we do? Add meta perks UI. It's still in a very early state. And there's only one meta perk you can get, but it works. All right, now we go to title screen and we put that code back in here. And then we check this in. Remove specificity in a message. I suspect that the specificity will cause a bug in the future when I change some value and forget to update that message. Plus, who cares? Who cares? Whether you find out if you get this thing after 4 perks or not, you're going to eventually just play a couple times and be like, huh, that always happens at the beginning of the game. Okay, so has unlocked tree is somewhere. Where is this? You, right there. And this is only ever called from... Yeah, this is only ever called from the perks trees themselves. Okay, what about this? Who calls you? That's fine. Wait, what? Just always returns true? Does something override this? It does. Then what's the point of having this be here? Yeah, there's no point. Anything else that's weird about this? Oh my god, come on. I just deleted that. So this checks currency, prerequisites, everything else, but aren't prerequisites in here? Should I just delete prerequisites? Yeah, probably, right? We never use them. Get all prerequisites. I don't ever use this. There's no such thing as a prerequisite, is there? I mean, there might be eventually, but there just isn't right now, and this seems like a waste of time. As all prerequisite. I did already code all this stuff. Nah, let's just leave it there. It's not hurting anything. But this I want to change. We're using perks tree skill buttons. This isn't even here anymore. It's in base perks tree. And this is private. We use this just so that we can get things as purchase skill buttons. All right, so here's what I'm going to try. First, let's go check in what I've already done. Because that was pretty reasonable. It was just move a function around. Yes, nice. Moving functions is easy. Refactor function to another class. Yeah. All right. The thing I want to do is I want to move base perks tree. I want to move skill buttons. I want this gone. So we only have 3 references. Now we only have 2 references. And each of these could pretty much be the same thing. We iterate over this values.cast. Actually, if we do the cast, then this is exactly the same. Easy. All right. That's it. Okay, I think the costs are showing in gold, though. That's going to be a problem. I should also probably test this before I check in. Yeah, I got rid of 2 lines of code. Yeah, it's showing as gold. Yuck. Okay, looks good. Okay, so refactor out unnecessary field. So that's finished, that's finished, that's finished. All right, respec button, perk points, blah, blah, blah. Let's start with this one. Make sure costs are showing in perk points, not in gold. We also need to subtract from perk points. So where does the cost show? What's responsible for setting that up? Turn that on. 10G. Lev dot. Here it is. So it's here somewhere. There's skill button base. Does this have a money amount on it? We just search for money symbol. No, weird. What about update a label? It's the main button. Where do you show up? I don't know at all. It's right there. What is the thing called? It's called add points button. Add points button dot text. I don't get it though. There's a Oh, is there an icon next to it that's just hard coded? Ah, there is. Oh, we could just turn off the icon then. Oh, except for the wait a second. Yeah, we could just turn off the icon. Or we're gonna need some icon though. Maybe let's just come up with any other icon. Where's this pulling this from? Oh, the coin thing. Yeah. Okay. We need something that's small and that represents perk points. I mean, we had a graphic earlier. Where is that? We had those gem things. Yeah, how big are those? "16 by 14. That's practically exactly the same size. This is 15 by 14. Huh. I think we're going to use a gem. All right, so which color now do we use? Blue, green, red, like pink, orange, gray? It's not gray. Maybe blue? I think orange is too close to the coin one already. Yeah, let's go with blue. All right, so you'll get for whatever reason, blue gems, because I don't want to figure everything else out. It's 16 by 16. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is 16 by 16. All right, so how do we change this? We need to be able to change the icon. Update icon saturation. Oh, interesting. All right, so this is for meta perks tree, and we got to figure out wherever we make these buttons. Purchased skill button. We make it here, and then we set a bunch of things. We should probably just... Is that the only place we make this? Yeah. We should probably just leave it to the child classes to derive this however they want. And in the case of meta perks tree, it can just override the icon. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Purchased skill button. Create skill button. Okay. This will be virtual. And we return the button. And then delete this and call create skill button. Cool. Now in meta perks tree, we're going to do the same thing, but here we're going to get the base create skill button. And then we're going to modify its icon. How do you even do that? Add theme icon override? What? How do you access this property? Property path is icon. What is button icon? Oh, because it's a button within a skill button base. Icon, mouse entered, modulate. Huh, this is already protected. And it's just a texture rectangle. Is that what it's supposed to be? I guess so. Texture 2D. What? Texture 2D is different from texture rect. How do we access this? No. There's a special. Oh, never mind. This is totally different. I want the button icon on add points, which we don't currently do, and it's probably not even public, right? Yeah, it's protected. So we need some way of overriding this. Probably purchase skill button will have a function that we expose. That's like public void set icon or set a cost icon to gem. So now we get the add points buttons icon and we make it equal to, I don't even think we have these in the code base right now. So let's just set it to literally anything. How do we even do this? What is this? Texture 2D. Do we ever use texture 2Ds? All right, let's back up a step. We should just be able to use the resource loader for this. But, oh, we do this. Oh, never mind. Okay, I expect that to be harder. I guess it is going to be an Atlas texture, though. Does this inherit from texture 2D? Oh, it does. Okay, well then, so easy to do. Okay, so Atlas equals load res slash something something slash I don't care slash just get it to show up. Is that a path we have? Sure. Boulder. Let's take that. Copy path. Nice. So now we have boulder.png. And we're going to take from 0, 0 to 16, 16. So it's going to look like just some random thing. And then we're going to set this over here. Now we override that and we run it. And we should see like a grayish blob instead of a coin. And if it worked, then we'll make it look like a gem pretty easily. Did not work. Set cost icon to gem, line 49. 49 is here. Add points button. Because we haven't added it yet? Yeah, that won't work. We need it to have been added first. I mean, we could make this a Boolean, and when it gets added and ready, then it does something. Or we wait for this thing to be added first. Either one of those things will work. Which one sounds better? I mean, ideally, when we create the button, we should be able to create it with this thing. Where did I put that? Here. Create. We add it so shortly thereafter. Yeah, so shortly thereafter. So then maybe we can create the button no matter what, and then after this we could say like set button properties. I mean, I guess we have set button ability. Is that protected? It is. Except for this probably gets called in a lot of different places, right? Yeah. Nothing shows up and everything's broken. Well, yeah, in this case at least it wasn't, it's not too bad. Hang on one second. Okay, there's I felt something sharp with my foot. There's like a staple in the floor. I want to get this so I don't step on it later. Hang on one sec. It's like really in the floor. Hang on. Okay, this is not coming out. Oh my god, I got it. There's like this. I mean, it's a staple. I don't need to show it to people, but yeah, that would have definitely punctured my foot. Let me bend this. Sorry that took so long. It's just like rubbed my foot against the carpet and like, why is that sharp? Thought it was gonna be a cat claw. All right, so then the way we should change this, instead of calling create skill button, we should have like an update skill button or something. So this can still be done here. And then we just call skill button added to scene button. So this is now void, skill button added to scene. This does literally nothing. But in this thing, it's going to set the icon to a gem. Yeah, good. All right, and as mentioned, this should turn into a gray blob or something. It's going to be the upper left of the boulder graphic. Yeah, nice. So now we go replace it with a gem. All right, so it's called free icons. Let's just load this up. Go to, whoops, that's not what I meant to click. Game, assets, icons. I mean, I guess it should go in here. Sound and ability. Free icons too. Sure. Whatever. Free icons to copy path. All right, so set icon to gem. We're going to take that thing. And we're going to make it the blue one I said, which is at 32, presumably. Yeah. let's see how that looks. I mean, it should look like a blue gem, but it's also got the white outline on it, and I'm not sure if that's going to look bad. It's not terrible. I kind of want it to be higher up. How's the gold coin look? Gold coin looks pretty low down too, actually. Can you change how the icon shows up? There's a margin. What if we add the margin here? It doesn't really work, right? Because you can make this go higher up, but then it gets clipped. And there's no way to turn that off, apparently. Huh. That's too bad. Oh, maybe we need to give it more of a height over here. And then lower that. That does not work. I mean, I guess in this case, what we could do is just make the overall graphic larger if we want to move the icon. Why is it 14 and not 16? Because this is the coin graphic. This is something Quickie Joe made specifically for Skeleseller. But even if it were 16, it would still look slightly off here because this is lower than the text. But I'm not concerned with that. And no one ever talked about that in the base game. So I think this will be fine too. Although I don't know how I feel about, well, I guess we're not using this as a final graphic. I don't know how I feel about the outline. But it's good enough. You lower the text individually. You might be able to. I'll just keep it as is for now. All right, cool. So costs are showing in perk points. I mean, they're gems right now. Yeah, this is fine. Don't check in main. Don't check in the title screen. So check in everything other than main and the title screen. Those files. These should all be the correct changes. Cool. Add gem icon for now to meta perk buttons. Better than showing gold, which you don't have in between games. All right. So I think the next thing would be this, implement perk points. So we need to store these somewhere. And part of the problem is we're not saving meta progression yet for challenge mode. We're not saving anything with it. And up until now, it never really mattered that much. But these perk points that you get, they need to be stored somewhere. And we need to know what reputation you have. It's going to be like challenge mode save data. It's not even necessarily configuration. Yeah, so I guess we'll make one of those. Challenge mode save data. It's not even really save data, right? It's like challenge mode progress. Yeah, something like that. And then we go make this. So what is the challenge mode progress going to be? It's going to be some amount of reputation. It's going to be some amount of perk points. And maybe things like how many runs you've done. Or like num wins. Num runs, num wins, num losses. Whatever else. Any other number. I guess you can't really have losses. There's a number of quits, I guess. Stuff like that. What else would go in here? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think it's going to just be a record struct. This is a record class for some reason. I didn't write down why I made it a record class, did I? I don't think so. But if we look at any other save data thing, it's going to probably look like that. These are just classes. Why did I do that? What about any of this data? It's also just a class. That's bizarre. Why didn't we make these record structs? Huh. Why didn't we? None of them are. Yeah, weird. I wonder why. It could literally just be that every other one is not, and I just copy pasted every time I did this. It's probably pretty likely. Okay, well, I think this should be a record struct. So let's go find our record struct. Pragmas here. So let's say this in challenge mode and call this what? Challenge mode progress? Challenge mode progress. And call this challenge mode progress. Challenge progress. All right, delete that stuff. Delete that. Put this in the right spot. Challenge mode. And then what do we want? Reputation and perk points. Perk points. Okay, easy. All right, so your rep is going to start at 0 and your perk points are going to start at maybe 5. And how much does this cost? It costs 10, so you won't have enough for it? Well, that's too bad. And then we go change meta perk tree so that it pulls from there. Get currency is going to be title screen dot this dot perk points. And then this is going to be this plus delta. And then we need to show them somewhere. Let's see if this works. It costs 10. You only have 5. So it should show as a disabled button. Oh, because this is a long. Okay, my bad. We got to make this a long then. Why can't my variable types get a long? Well, now they have. Guess we might as well make reputation a long as well. It makes almost no difference. We're not going to get into the trillions for these numbers. It's not going to matter that we're saving 4 extra bytes. What's the problem here? Oh, because it's read-only. And now what? We don't get a complaint about that? No, we do. Is this fixed? Cannot modify the return value of challenge mode progress because it is not a variable. What? I'm confused. What is going on here? Not a variable. It's a property. You can't modify these? What? Oh, do I have to? I think it's because it's a record struct. I think you have to make new ones because they're only values. So I think what I have to do is I have to say something like this equals, yeah, this. That's how we have to do it. Oh God, that's ludicrous. Okay. Yeah. Why not record class? I always need to like go refresh my memory on what the difference even is. I think it's just pass by value versus pass by reference, right? In which case, yes, making this a record class would make a lot more sense. That's probably why they're all classes, but they're not records. I want them to be records. All right, so record class, and then go delete this nonsense. Perk points plus equal delta. Init only property or indexer perk points can only be assigned in an object initializer. Wait, what? So record classes don't work that way either? All right, I'm confused. C# modify record class. Shouting at a VOD from a year and a half ago. Yeah, records are meant to be immutable. Yeah. They're immutable by default. Okay. So then we just make this a class at this point. We could do the with expression. Yeah. Add mutable properties. Sounds like a bad idea. Yeah, we could just use with, I guess. Property is by default init get. Yeah, but it probably doesn't make sense for me to use a record class if I'm going to override all the parts of it that make it a record class, right? Like at that point, it should just be a class, and I should just make properties for it. Yeah. Long reputation gets set. And this. Accessibility, yes. Okay, so now we're all set. And you just can't make a new one of these now? Yeah, I guess new. And then we'd say perk points equals 5 here. Yeah, that should work. All right, so that is not correct, right? We shouldn't be able to afford this. We can't. It's just never been updated to know that we can't afford this. That's not good. But if I set this to 10, we should be able to afford it now. So it just needs to look disabled when you can't afford it. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. So we needed to look disabled. All right, how do we do that? I guess there was supposed to be a money change thing that happened somewhere, and it's probably happening from like base perks tree or something like that. Money change? No, just perks tree. Yeah, here it is. Set button ability. We don't have this. But money changed should probably just be called for everything in the tree at first. Why don't we just do that by default? Set button ability is right here. Set button ability does not update the disabled state of this. Why? Money changed? Long money? What calls this? Literally just the one place. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's my problem. All right, so then what do we want to do for this? I guess we want to call money changed on every single button that we have, which I could do. Wait, there's update skill button cost and there's update label, and neither one of those does what I wanted to do. Tisk. So after adding all the skill buttons, we're going to go through. Wait, what? Hold on. we return this here. Purchased skill button equals add button dot whatever it was called. Now I got to find the name of it again. Money changed. And what? That takes in the amount of money you're supposed to have. Get currency. Why don't we just do this by default? There must have been a reason for this. Like, I'd love for whenever we initialize this thing, which we just only do here. God, this is stupid. Well, then we should do it in the base class, shouldn't we? Yeah. Skill button dot money change get currency. There, perfect. Okay, now it should look disabled. Yeah. Nice. Now there's no way for me to grant money here, but we could go add that in. In the title screen, let's add in unhandled input thing. Do I have one? I do have one. All right, let's just go add page up here. And type something like challenge mode progress dot perk points plus equal 5. Now this will not update the UI because it's impossible for you to update the UI with this particular line here. You can't get perk points while you're on the screen. So I'm just cheating them in, which means that when I press page up, it's not going to update that, but now I can click this and no, it doesn't work. So because it's disabled and it doesn't update the button. Sophomire, thanks for the resub. Happy 7 months. Well, you know what would work, maybe, is starting a new run and then going back to the title screen. Yes. Now we can click it. Hooray. All right, let's delete all that. All right, so what do we just do here? I did something. Oh yeah, I added in the challenge mode progress. Why is that yellow? I'll use my yellow be gone. The enter key. All right, so this connected everything up correctly. We start with 5 perk points. Should we start with 0 perk points? Probably. Yeah, probably. Let's delete that. Okay, so we want to check that in. We want to check both of these things in. Where's the thing? Oh, it's only when you're looking at a single file? That's stupid. All right, fine, whatever. I'll just check in whole files then. Cool. Maybe after beating the main game, you get 5. What? You won't even have challenge mode until you've beaten the main game. So I think starting with 0 is fine, and then the tutorial can give you some. Is there not an issue with clarity on those gems? It just looks like you have to get 10 gray ones. Like they're not using perk points. The UI is not done yet. So yeah, it is definitely lacking clarity now. But imagine if somewhere up here it said like perk points 6 or something, and it showed you the icon for them. Then you'd be like, oh, I get it. And if it's still confusing, by the way, I can always like, I'll watch people play, and then if they struggle, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're looking for a gray icon and it doesn't exist. Add perk points. You start with 0 and can't ever get more yet. And the only meta perk costs 10, so it's now impossible to buy that meta perk. All right, so that's done. That's done, that's done. Oh, that's probably done, but we couldn't confirm it unless we add in another meta perk. Which, how do we even do that? We don't have another meta perk. But it doesn't know that they're meta perks. They could just be regular perks. It has no idea. So let's go add in increased appetite. That'll show it. It doesn't exist. Oh, because it's called Recycler Faster Hunger or something. And then let's go start us with 15. So now we have enough to buy 1. Oh, therein lies the problem, right? Yeah, therein lies the problem. You can't get more perk points on the screen, but you can spend them. And we still don't update this button, but you can't click it now. Yeah, my bad. All right, let's set this to 20 and see what happens. Will this break because I don't have the right number of levels? Or is it gonna... It might break. It did not break. Okay, well, that's next. When you spend perk points, we need to update every button. Means the title screen needs to emit an event that then something else listens for. Just perk points changed. Perk points changed. Wait, but they can only change from within the screen that we're on. So no, we don't need an event for this. So you click a button and it modifies the currency. And then we want to just update every single other button. When we do this in here, set button ability, we just need the button at any point to figure out when this changed. But it's going to be every button. So this is pointless. Okay. I kind of talked myself out of that. And what we're going to do is whatever this does here. So whenever you change your points, just go through every single button and call whatever the thing was. Why do I not know the name of this? I just wrote the function. Money changed. Get currency. All right, now our little title screen hack that I had with unhandled input. Page up, or is it pig up? It's UI page up. It was neither. UI page up. We're going to do progress. Okay, that was done to type. Perk points plus equal 5. And then set input as handled. Oh, except for that's not going to, oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever. This is probably why I should listen for this. If we have a debug thing like this. All right, so if I click once, nothing should change. If I click again, they should both turn gray. Then if I press page up a couple times, now I have enough money, but it doesn't know I have enough money, so nothing's going to change. So if we quit this first and I grant myself an extra, let's say 15. So I do this, this, this. So now I have 35, 25, 15, 5. Yeah. All right, it's working well. Obviously, that should show in the UI and tell you how many of these you have. All right, so we're not going to change this at all. We are going to change that. So delete this code. Delete, no, we need that code. Delete this code. So the only change that I have here is this file. Yeah. Update gem or update cost label after spending, after perk points change. This doesn't currently matter since there's only one button and no way to change the number of perk points you have, but it will matter very soon. Might as well we'll push that. Okay, done with that. Add a respec button. This is not going to be easy. Yeah, this is not going to be easy because the costs are tiered costs. So you may have something like a cost like this, 1, then 2, then 3. If you have level 3 of this thing, then that means we need to refund 6 points. If you have level 2, we only need to refund 3 points. And of course, at level 1, we refund 1 point. And we need to do this for every single skill. Whereas the only other place that we have respecializing in the game, everything, every level cost 1. So we just sum the number of levels. The reason this is annoying is because we don't store the costs in the abilities. We store them in the tree, which I think is dumb. Yeah, I think it's dumb. Well, what we could do is we could have a respecialize button here. And when you press it, we go through every single ability and figure out what level you had and how much we should refund to you. All right, I'll take a break and then we'll do that. Just make page up handle respecializing for now, or refunding all points. Show the number of points you have in the UI. And then call, what is this function? Modify currency. I mean, that should be pretty easy. Oops. Call modify currency to update that label. Okay, I will be back in just a bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. right, hello again, everybody. Sophomire had a good idea that I read from chat, close the game, which is we could keep track of how many points we gave out so that we don't need to do any computation when we're refunding them. Just remove all your skills and just give you that number of points back. So there's kind of a question here, which is interesting, which is, let's say you have 50 points and you spend them, and then I change. No, never mind. This is not an interesting question. Okay, yeah, let's see what Sophomire said. That's a good solution. Let's do it. So challenge mode progress. This is your current number of perk points. Why did that just tab in weirdly? What is going on here? Why is it moving? What? So weird. The current number of, or the number of unspent perk points you have currently. And then we'll make a total perk points. The total number of perk points you were ever given. All right. So we are going to what are we gonna do? Hey, Cuddlefish. So there's got to be a respec button somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be in the tree. I think it should be in the tab container. How do we do this for the adventurer tab? We have a control, and under it, we have a VBox container that has the top bar. So we need a VBox container for this stuff, right? So I'm going to make a control, and then I'm going to make a VBox container. And then at the top of this, I'm going to make a rich text label. And I'm just going to say testeroni. Where does this show up? Okay, I mean, that's pretty good. So this is going to say how many perk points you have. Perk points label. And then I guess let's throw this into an HBox container. Like so. And on the other side of this, let's add a button. And we'll call this refund perk points. And then center everything here. Center this thing. Refund button. All right, what's on my clipboard? Total perk points. Yeah. And where's this stuff? A new challenge run screen? New challenge run screen. Ideally, this ends up being in its own class entirely with signals and everything. I should probably do that at some point. Okay, so let's get private button, refund points button. And what was the other thing I wanted? A label for perk points label. And what's that called? Perk points label and refund button. Yeah. Nice. Now let's go add those things in. So when you press this, we're going to refund points. This might want to ask you for confirmation, even though it doesn't cost anything, because it might be tedious to apply all those points again. Private void that. So we need to get the meta perks tree and call modify. We're having a thing would be nice. Modify currency. This is protected though. Maybe we should have like an update button. We should just have a listener whenever you modify the perk points. All right, well, anyway, title screen dot meta perk points equals total perk points. And then tell the tree that it's got to reset everything. Refunded points. Now go make that. Put this up here. All right, this is going to call modify currency 0. The important thing that it's going to have to do, though, is it's going to have to go through every single button and set them to like level 0 again, I suppose. Do we have a way of doing that? I don't think we do. Can we just update the label maybe? Get current level. Yeah, maybe we can. And then we need to also update title screen dot challenge mode configuration, meta perks. Is there a way to like wipe this thing out? Do we have a clear? Delete? Okay, I'll just look through it. Set ability levels. I want to remove every ability. I guess we can just, yeah, we can just wipe it out. Equals new abilities component. Won't that work? Init only property, drat. So close. Okay, I guess there's a private setter here. We could just make a public void clear. There's also a set all abilities. That's pretty much the same as clear, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, there's no testing this. I never gave myself points, did I? Something's wrong. Reference not set to an instance of an object. Did I save this? I did save this. Oh, this is turned on by default. We don't want that. But I also need to figure out why refund points button doesn't exist. Because it's called refund button. Refund points button. Okay. Now there's one other problem that I had, which is I didn't give points out, right? So let's go get points out. Title screen. We also don't update that label ever. I should do that too. So where do we give you your progress? Here. Perk points equals 15. Okay. Now that label comes from here. New challenge screen. Close every other tab I have open. And go get that label. Update perk points label. So this is going to be a little bit annoying. Yeah, a little bit. Perk points. Okay, that's good. And then after we refund the points, call update perk points label. Never mind, I guess it won't be annoying. Easy. I don't know if it's going to work. Well, let's try it. All right, so it says we have 15. There's also nothing showing up. That whole nothing showing up part is the real problem. What happened to the tree? What's going on here? We need this to take up the full thing. It does take up the full thing. What? Because this isn't taking up the whole thing? Oh, there we go. Okay, so then how do we want to align this? Maybe at the beginning? I think that looks better. I think there should be some spacing here too. That'd probably be nice. We could just add some. Yeah, there. Okay, how's that? All right, so we have 15. If I click this, it should go down to 5. It did not. Because it doesn't know that perk points were modified. But the meta perks tree does. So we can just make an action out of here. Public event action question mark perk points change. So this is basically going to be the owner of something that's stored in the title screen. And then we emit this event from here. Over here we go check it. So meta perks tree. We never initialize this thing. I guess we do actually. So never mind. Meta perks tree dot perks point change plus update perk point label. All right, how's that? Try that on for size. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now we click refund. We have 0 points. You know why? It's because when we get points, we never modify what we had as a total. We need to do that. So this should have said total perk points equals 15. In fact, if we set this to 25, for example, because we're not calculating anything, we're just setting your number of perk points equal to your total. So now if I click refund, I will get 25 points. Yeah. If I click it again, it doesn't matter. It's going to be set to 25. I click this and then refund. I can click this again. No, I can't. Why not? Oh, weird. I can... Wait, what? Hold on a second. Something weird is happening. I can click the icon, but only once. Refunding doesn't make the icon light up again, and it doesn't show the cost either. And this has control up here. That's a problem. This should say something like perks. Okay, so whatever I did is insufficient. Update label on its own is not enough. There's something else we need to do. We call money changed. We call money changed after we refunded the points or before? Where is this called? We set your perk points. We say that we refunded the points. We modify currency 0, which is going to add 0. It's actually going to invoke this. We're just going to go do a bunch of things again. I guess it's going to update that label. So I guess we don't technically need to do this. Okay. What am I missing? We're hiding. We're not letting you click this, but we're letting you click the other thing. And the cost label stops showing up? Maybe nothing makes it visible again? Do we have a hide in here? We do, and I'm guessing we never have a show. Yeah, we never have a show. Well. Can something else? Don't just set visibility because the button may have already been hidden in challenge mode. Oh my god. Oh, it's a very valuable comment. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure what to do here. I guess we'd have to have like a reset button. Oh, what just happened? Public void reset to 0. So this is going to make the add points button show up. It's going to call update label, I guess. And it's going to maybe need to do something else. I don't know. Let's try it. So I click this. We can only see the word max and no button beneath it. Now I refund. And now I can click this again. Well, would you look at that? It's all working. Nice, cool. Okay. It's not too bad. Wow, cool. Yeah, cool. Show number of points you have. Don't need to do this. Add the respec button. We're done with that. Show how many perk points you have and how to get to the next level. Show how much rep you have and how much you need for the next level and how many perk points it'll give you. That I still haven't figured out how it's going to work. Every time you complete a run, whether you win or lose, you get reputation. Some amount of rep will give you perk points. And I don't know what that conversion is, but I think it needs to be like a regular experience bar. Something like this, where it's like, it's slowly going up. And it could be linear like this too. We don't need it to be on a curve. So maybe the very first run you ever do gives you 25 points. Or sorry, 25 rep. So 25 rep would give you the first 2 levels, so you get 2 points out of it. And maybe if you beat the next one, you get 30 points. And that's enough for you to get another 2 points out of it. 30 rep. And that's enough for you to get 2 more points. and then maybe it slows down a little bit. Or maybe it speeds up as you, like, maybe as long as you beat the latest challenge, you're going to get enough for 2 perks. But then this number of points needs to be balanced with the cost of the perks that you get. So like right now we made something cost 10 perk points. Like increased appetite is 10 points. You don't want to have to win 10 runs just to get 1 perk. So I think we need to make it so that the first few runs like jump you up to a pretty high level immediately. Like you immediately go to level 5 or level 7 or something. I don't know. Yeah, this is all the stuff that you need to figure out with balancing. And it's like if all you're going to use are integers, then you could start your costs off like this, and you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to come up with numbers that will work. But if you start with integers and your costs start at like 1, then as soon as you made something cost 2, it's now double the cost. You have no intermediate. You can't make something 20% more. So you need to readjust all your numbers so that the base cost is 10, and that way 20% more would be 12. So I'm just trying to think what's the lowest possible number that we could use and not like totally break the balance of this. And if it's, let's say, 5 points for a basic perk, then we need to make sure you're getting 5 points every time you level up. Or I don't know, whatever. I keep saying everything wrong. But my point is the balance is going to be kind of tough. We don't really need to figure that out right now, though. And I haven't even checked in as far as I remember. No, I have not. Let's go check in. So we want this file to be in there. We need to make sure whenever we give you points, where is that? Change winning, I think rep cost. All right, so anytime you earn rep, anytime you earn enough rep to get a perk point, we need to modify total perk points. Or else respecs will break. Does 100 sound bad? So I think the goal should be it's balanced with numbers as low as possible. So as an example, like I think Diablo 3 or maybe Diablo 4, I don't know which one, started having damage numbers where you're doing like 1,000,000 damage or something. And then it's just kind of hard to judge like, oh, this weapon is 42,000 DPS. Like, is that better than this other weapon? Or is adding 10 strength good? Because it's just those numbers are hard to add and multiply yourself. So that's why I want the numbers to be as low as possible. So if it turns out all we need is like, oh, perks can cost 3 or 4 or 5, then like, cool. Yeah, that'll be good. And then making them cost 300, 400, 500 would just be sort of inflating how many points it looks like you're working with. Okay. This is used when refunding your points. All right, so this is done. This is done. We call modify currency just to update something, which I don't think we have a reason to do anymore. We call money changed on that button. And we call perk point changed. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Our purchase skill button. This is used to refund a skill such that like you never had it in the first place. As though you never had it in the first place. All right, so this technically isn't needed here. Yeah, none of this stuff we need to check in. And then this we need to check in because we added the respec stuff. Yeah. Add a refund points button. Oh, it's got to have a tooltip. I'll do that in a separate commit. Hey, Brandon, welcome in. Tooltip. I mean, adding a tooltip is not hard. It's that I got to set the tooltips thing correctly. So where is this? This is over here. Refund perk points. Okay, let's add a thing underneath it. Tooltip on parent. And we're going to say refunds all of your perk points this doesn't cost anything. What did we say in regular mode when you do this? There's a respec button. Refunds all of your skill points. This is free. Wait, if it's free, then we need to do the second part too, right? We need to let you refund individual things. Oh, man. I think we're in a pickle here. Yeah, let me just think out loud for a second. If you can refund your skill points for free, then it's like UI sugar for you to be able to remove a point from an individual skill. If you can remove a point from an individual skill, then we can't just track total perk points anymore, because it's possible that you only want to remove a single level of something. And then we run into a problem where if we ever update the cost of skills in the game and you refund it such that you get a different number of total points, we have a problem, I guess. And if we don't have the UI sugar, then we're making players work with a clunky UI anytime they want to respecialize. All right, there is a potential thing we could do here. We could add a nominal cost so that we obviate the whole problem and create a different problem for ourselves, which is to lower the total number of perk points you have every time you respecialize. Is there a reason for that, though? So yeah, we could obviate this problem by adding a tiny respec cost. Say like 1 perk's worth of points. Is that a problem though? Are we trying to incentivize players to stick with a tree? Because this is what other games with higher respec costs try to do. Is like, hey, think about your build. Don't just be changing it willy-nilly. And they incentivize you by essentially disincentivizing you from switching it. And most of the time, that's like kind of sort of tedious. And games that I find this annoying, like classic WoW, it's super annoying. You can't just try out different builds. You need to spend like a lot of money. And then Diablo 2, the original, just didn't let you do this either. Then they eventually patched it so you could do it. And then they made it so that you need to collect some like semi-rare items to do it. And it's like, was there a reason for even that? I guess they want your gear to matter. Like in those games, yeah, I guess in those games, if you were locked into a build, in order to make that build work, you might seek out different items. And since there's a player-based economy, I'd almost rather just refund a whole tree than have to pay a cost. That could be the downside to respecking. Well, I think my answer to this is I don't think we're trying to incentivize sticking to a build. So a respec cost is a bad idea. Which means we should add in the UI sugar. Which means it's going to be a giant pain. Yeah, well, fine. I guess we're going to do that later then. Work for later. We should probably have minus and plus buttons for each individual perk, meta perk. Since if refunds are free, then we should make the UI nicer for players who accidentally clicked a single incorrect skill. Well, incorrect in quotes. Could you still keep track of the cost? It could, yeah. Yeah. And I guess if we do this, then total perk points is no longer guaranteed to accurately reflect how many points you should get back. E.g., you get a single skill costing 10 points. Then we patch the game to make it cost 15. And you end up, well, I guess, patch it to make it cost 5. And now you only get back 5 points rather than 10. You could track how much you paid for each one. I don't think it's really necessary. This is kind of a problem, though, now that I think about it, because your reputation might be on a curve such that getting those 5 points back is actually not trivial. So we might need to keep track how much paid for every single skill in the game. Alternatively, what we could do is when we patch a skill cost, we could update someone's total perk points spent. How do you keep track of all this? I mean, just in this list. Easy. This is kind of bad. Alternatively, what we could do is refund could always give you points back based on how much reputation you have. Could just make refunding give you points back based on your reputation, not based on how much you spent. Yeah. All right, I think that's the solution we'd go with. And for now, it doesn't matter. Okay. So why did I say all this stuff? Because I was looking over here for something? Why was I looking over here? Oh, to see what the wording of this was. Because I wanted to make a tooltip. Now I remember. Refunds all of your skill points. This is free. Okay, we might as well use the same thing. Refunds all of your perk points. This is free. There, done. Okay. Abby, come in. Okay, new challenge run screen. We need to set a tooltip. Abby, come in. She's like struggling with the door. Come on. Good cat. So, hi. Hi, cat. You want to sit down? You want to sit? Good cat. Okay. There. Now she's exactly where she wants to be. She's going to try to fall asleep on my hand pretty soon, I bet. Oh, what an adorable cat. All right. So we got to change this. And I guess we're just going to do get node parent tooltip on parent. Refund tooltip. All right, is that good? Oh man, come on. I can't use a mouse anymore. He's already rested her head on my hand. Refund tooltip, yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, let's try it. Okay, you are so adorable. Refunds all of your perk points. This is free. We could even tell you how many you would get back. The real streamer has arrived. Unfortunately, you can't see her. I need to angle the camera down, and I don't think I can reach it from here. She's purring. Should we put the little icon next to perk points? We maybe should. The little gem icon. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, well, at least this one's easy to do because we're just doing it in the UI. So we go down to here and we click this. And then right next to perk points label, we add in a texture rect. Put that up here and do perk point icon. And then go over to texture, make an atlas texture. Load in our free icons that we have. And region is going to be 32, 16, 16. Okay. Now instead of stretch mode, we say keep aspect centered. And it looks like trash. Okay, that's where we add another HBox container here. And we put both those things together. And that probably looks a little bit better. How do I pan? I don't remember because I'm not using a mouse anymore. I actually honestly don't remember. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, well, I guess I can drag from here. No, you can't do that. Oh God, you definitely can't do that. What? How do you... Is it this? Pan mode. Space by default. Oh, that's pretty nice. Do you have a middle click button? I do. And I thought I pressed it, but I must have pressed right click. Yeah. That must have been it. All right, so that looks pretty good, right? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now we have the gem icon and we have a tooltip. Neat. Very neat. Yeah. Oh, we're the bestest cat, so. She's like yawning straight up into my face. All right, it is much harder to control a computer like this. Visible false, we want this back there. Rest of that stuff probably looks fine. Yeah, because we put it in an HBox container. Added a tooltip. Okay, so we want this whole file. We want none of that, and we want this. Improve meta perks UI. There's now a tooltip on the refund button. And I put the gem icon next to perk points to make it clearer what that icon means. Okay. I think this is a reasonably good stopping time. But I want to show all the progress. Okay, let me grab the mouse by moving the mouse to where my hand is. There we go. Usually I move my hand to where the mouse is. All right, so before this, we had challenge mode here, but it was totally different. We used to show a bunch of specializations and difficulty levels, and this is still kind of a mess, but now we have the perks button here, and you can actually click this perk and get level 1 of this ability. And this will affect the next run you do. You can refund your perk points, but there's only one perk, so I mean, it's not like you have a choice. And oh, we need to add a close button. Oh God, I can't type now. Hang on a second, let me write this down. Add a close button to the new tab container so that you don't always need to click the background. All right, anyway, now we also have this. This is the difficulty track. You can now pick a difficulty level. We don't have any of this stuff filled in really. When you hover over this, it'll tell you everything that you picked. So for example, if you're on level 2, enemies do more damage, items sell for less. So now you can start a new run, and yeah, that stuff is done. So now we'll start with our perk. So there's our perk that we got, increased appetite. This is what we chose as our meta perk. And items will sell for less, and the enemies will be harder. And then it's just a normal run at that point. Now, unfortunately, we haven't done any of the other stuff, so the timer's still counting down, which means you can still lose. That won't be possible eventually. Oh, also those notifications need to probably change. I'll write that down too. the notifications about having 10 minutes and 5 minutes left to earn X gold should probably be removed. Or maybe they should get replaced with, if you want a gold medal, you have 5 minutes to win. Can't wait for this to be done on Monday. Let me ask you, Xyletics, do you think you'll enjoy this stuff more with just a difficulty track and like meta perks? Or were you like, I already like challenge mode, I think it should have gone in a different direction? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Although anyone's welcome to chime in. Basically, like, does it look like the game is getting better as a result of this stuff? And I do think it will be better for the majority of people who play. And anyone who wants an even bigger challenge, we can eventually add standalone challenges. So there's this choose a difficulty level stuff here. We could just have another button that opens up when you hit level 20 in between this saying like choose standalone challenges. And then there's like chaos mode and there's, don't have any buildings. See how far you can get. Those will be like zany challenges. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. Unfortunately, there's nothing even for me to play test right now. We haven't done anything. I think it'd be interesting. Personally, like a challenge, which I always play on level 4. Wouldn't even try the other options, but this idea makes sense to me. Yeah, I like the challenge too. I think for the people who are able to kind of follow everything that's happening, the old hard and very hard modes weren't actually too bad. Because a lot of people who are new would, and I saw this a decent amount, and I don't disparage these people, but there would be complaints about RNG. And I think that, wow, what are you doing, cat? She's just like, I think she really wants to sleep right now. So she just like attacked my hand. Yeah, I think a lot of new players were like, it seemed like it wasn't possible for me to win that run. Yeah, I didn't get good RNG. I didn't get the right adventures or something. And it's like, I think you can paper over that a lot. It's probably like how a lot of people feel in Slay the Spire and how I've probably even felt in the past. Like, oh, I just got bad options. And it's like, well, pro players could probably still beat those runs that I was not able to beat. Okay, just calm down, cats. Calm down. Good cat. Yeah. So I am excited to see what people say. Goodbye, Catso. Where are you coming back? About to comment on how adorable it was to see her face sticking out and she tried to bite you. She's not really trying to do any damage to me. Because if she wanted to hurt me, she could hurt me. But look, she's holding my hand right now. What a good kitty cat. Yeah, I'm really hoping this works. You know what I realized over lunch? I basically made a prestige system, right? Like this concept of meta perks, this has been done. Ooh, that's really bad. This has been done in a lot of different games. And it's not all that special, except for then when you replay the game, you'd be playing the same game. So when you click new game with your meta perks, you'd be like, oh, I just started, but I have whatever starting perks would have been there. But now we changed up the game. I think that's the uniqueness here. And I don't know if people will like it. Well, it's a bit of a risk. All right, well, as mentioned, I think I'm going to get going. Let me go find someone to raid. Man, I actually don't think I'm going to raid out. I like just kind of ending the stream. Also, I just feel like raids are kind of diminished in quality in terms of they're like a networking tool more than anything else. And I just feel like stopping the stream. So I'm going to get going. I hope you all have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I think it'll be another full day of coding. And I think we're going to just keep working on this stuff. I doubt I'll work on the weekend on some of this. And yeah, hopefully we can get some pretty good progress by the end of next week. Maybe we can even get a play testable by the end of next week. So yeah, take care. Thank you all for watching. See ya.